Welcome to our second lesson, Types of Data Available on Social Media Platforms. I'm really happy you're here today because we're diving into a topic that is shaping the future of both education and how we engage with the world around us. Social media data. Now, that might sound a bit technical at first, but by the end of this lesson, I promise you'll have a clear, practical understanding of what social media data actually is, how it's being used in education, especially for adults, and why it's crucial to handle it responsibly. Let's start with something simple. Think about the last time you scrolled through LinkedIn or Facebook. Maybe you liked a post, clicked on an ad for a course, or joined a group about career change. That interaction? That's data. Every click, comment, and connection you make online leaves behind a trail, one that platforms analyze to learn more about you and, ideally, improve your experience. Over the last 20 years, social media has become more than just a way to stay in touch with friends. It's now a tool for learning, networking, and professional development. Platforms like LinkedIn have evolved into learning hubs. Twitter is full of real-time knowledge sharing through hashtags like #EdTech or NAR Lifelong Learning, and even Instagram and TikTok are filled with bite-sized educational content. But here's the real kicker. These platforms are constantly collecting data. And I don't mean just your name or email. We're talking about how long you watch a video, what you search for, what kind of content you ignore, who you interact with, and so much more. Let's break down the types of social media data, because understanding them helps us see how they can be used in adult education. First, we have user-generated content. This is everything you and I post online: status updates, comments, videos, photos, podcasts. In an educational context, this is incredibly valuable. For instance, if adult learners are sharing infographics on project management or posting reflections about a coding bootcamp they took, that's a goldmine of insight into what topics resonate and how people are engaging with learning. Next, there's user profile data. This includes basic information like your location, job history, and interests. If someone lists on LinkedIn that they're in marketing and follows accounts about analytics, platforms can use that information to suggest relevant courses or certifications. It's all about matching content to your professional identity. Then we have engagement data. That's all your likes, shares, reactions, comments. If lots of learners are liking a particular course announcement or asking questions under a post, it signals to educators that this topic is relevant and may be worth exploring in more depth. And let's not forget behavioral data. This is more subtle and powerful. Platforms track how long you spend reading an article, whether you watch a video to the end, and what you click next. This helps refine recommendations. If someone repeatedly engages with entrepreneurship content but skips finance videos, the algorithm learns to surface more business-building materials. Also important is network data. Who are you connected to? Which groups do you belong to? Adult learners often join online communities to discuss shared goals, like learning English, switching careers, or improving digital skills. These social networks can influence what you see and what you learn. And data from these communities helps platforms tailor what they offer. And then, of course, there's marketing and ad data. Every time someone clicks an ad for a course or signs up for a webinar through Instagram, platforms track that. They learn what formats work, what language persuades, even what time of day people are most likely to enroll. Now, I want to pause and point something out. Everything I've described so far, this data, isn't just abstract. It's already being used, right now, to shape adult education. Course providers analyze it to improve engagement. Nonprofits use it to tailor programs for underserved communities. Governments use it to assess public needs for digital literacy training. But as exciting as this is, we also need to talk about the ethical side of data. The truth is, not all data use is harmless. There are real concerns about privacy, consent, and equity. Think about it. Do most users truly know how much data they're giving away? Do they understand how it's used? And in education, where learners may be vulnerable, financially, socially, or emotionally, these questions become even more serious. There's also the issue of algorithmic bias. If the data a platform uses to recommend learning content reflects past inequalities, say, showing more technical courses to men than women, it can reinforce those inequalities, even unintentionally. And let's not ignore access and inclusion. Not all adults have the same access to devices, broadband, or digital literacy. So when platforms rely too heavily on data to personalize learning without addressing these gaps, they risk leaving some learners behind. So what can we do? Well, first we can become more informed users. If you're an educator, understand what kind of data your platform collects and how it's used. If you're a learner, check your privacy settings. Ask, why am I seeing this course? Is it based on my data or something else? Second, institutions and course providers need to prioritize consent and transparency. Clear opt-in forms, explanations of how data is used, and ways to opt out are essential, not just for legal compliance, but to build trust. Third, we should advocate for ethical design. Platforms can do better. For example, they can ensure that algorithms promoting educational content are reviewed for fairness and don't reinforce stereotypes or exclude underserved groups. Let's also look at the future for a moment. New regulations like the GDPR in Europe or the upcoming AI Act are pushing platforms to be more accountable. We're also seeing experiments in blockchain-based systems where learners own and control their own data. Imagine a digital wallet of your learning credentials that only you decide when to share. In parallel, AI is evolving to analyze data more securely, more transparently, and, hopefully, more ethically. But we still have a long way to go. Before we wrap up, I want to connect this back to something very practical: how educators and adult learners can use this knowledge. If you're an educator, think about how to use social media data to improve your teaching. Are people dropping off your video lessons after 3 minutes? Maybe the pacing needs adjustment. Are comments pointing to confusion around a topic? Consider a follow-up Q&A post or live stream. If you're a learner, start exploring your own digital footprint. What kinds of ads do you see? What learning resources get recommended to you? And why? This awareness gives you control. It empowers you to shape your learning journey intentionally, not just passively consume whatever the algorithm feeds you. So, to close, social media data is powerful. It can personalize, motivate, and connect. But it can also exploit, exclude, and mislead if not handled carefully. The solution isn't to stop using it. It's to use it wisely. Whether you're teaching, learning, or building educational programs, understanding social media data isn't just a tech skill, it's a literacy for the digital age. And as with any literacy, the more you learn, the more empowered you become. Thanks for joining me today. See you in the next lesson where we learn how to collect and analyze social media data.